Good late Sunday evening. I'm certified meteorologist Nick Kelly. Thankfully, we are done with thunderstorm chances, at least for the next few days. It'll give us a chance to dry out after we had to deal with 2 days worth of what seems like round after round of thunderstorms just rolled on through the area. Let's break down what happened today. We had a good batch of overnight thunderstorms going into this morning. Some were approaching severe limits. In fact, we did have just a smidge of damage in a few spots, mainly around Seneca, where at this latest report here, at about 6 o'clock this morning, we had part of a large tree falling down on some power lines that knocked out power to some homes right around Seneca. At least that was a delayed report, so we could thank the overnight round of storms for doing that. The rest of the area was just a lot of heavy rain reports and maybe some small hail. No, actually, reported by off-duty Missouri Department of Conservation employee out in Cedar County, inch and a half. That's about ping pong ball size hail. So we did have a potent round of overnight storms. We followed that up with an afternoon round of thunderstorms. We did have some severe thunderstorm warnings with those, but the biggest hail sizes got around the Fidelity and Riverton was mainly about the size of pennies, 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Other than that, these were soakers in terms of our afternoon thunderstorms. At least we are done for tonight. Skywatch Storm Tracker looking a lot calmer than it did to start the afternoon out, and certainly a lot calmer than this morning. Have a look at rainfall amounts, though. This is a look at everything according to radar estimates starting Saturday at midnight. This is quite an amount of rain that we picked up over the course of just 2 days. Area-wide, the average amount, if I could just draw a quick rectangle here, about just over 2 inches of rain. And not to mention, when you factor some of the localized thunderstorms, in fact, if I can somehow just move this down, there we go. We had some localized areas of 3, 4, 5, pushing 6 inches of rain. So for some of you, this was rain that you need, but it's a good chance for us to dry out. And thankfully, that's what we're going to do as we go through the next several days. On top of that, the storms this afternoon certainly looked ominous if you were to look outside. And I'll show you a few examples here. This is from Phyllis Blackwood. These were the eerie clouds she saw when the storms were firing up around Racine out in Newton County at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. We had Angela Allen show a very impressive cloud pictures here of the storms that rolled through Carthage this morning. And this one from Dixie Jackson. Doug and I had to do a double take on this. We just had to look and see if this was anything ominous. This was taken from the 6939 junction south of Fort Scott, and even, let's say, looking back toward the 397 junction near Pawnee, about 10 miles southwest of Fort Scott proper. It looked like a thundercloud. The thing is, though, we had a storm out there at the time, when this picture was taken at close to 2:50 this afternoon, but there was no rotation. So that was most likely scud, just individual low-hanging clouds that was just riding right along with this thunderstorm. It wasn't really rotating, so thankfully that was not a thundercloud, and we didn't have to deal with any tornado warnings or tornadic thunderstorms throughout the course of the day. The loop from Tommy's Express Car Wash certainly showed overnight storms, a quiet break in the afternoon, and then a good soaking right over the city of Joplin. As far as the almanac for today, we picked up almost 1.25 inches officially at the regional airport. At least that's the latest check of the rain bucket there. After we started at 63 this morning, we did manage to go to 81 before the thunderstorms worked right over Joplin this afternoon. At 11:06, most of us are sitting mid to upper 60s to about 70 degrees in a few locations, but everyone's going to be dropping back into the 60s tonight. The thunderstorms we had to deal with this afternoon continue racing toward the Mississippi River, riding right up along 44. Thankfully, the upper level setup's calming down a little bit. You see this kink in the jet right here. That was an upper level disturbance that triggered our afternoon round of thunderstorms today. This vigorous upper low out west, it's calming down a little bit, so it'll give us let's say 2 days worth of a chance to dry things out before it starts to send more upper level disturbances our way. And at the surface, we're on the backside of this cold front now. We're not talking about a big cool down for tomorrow, but it will be calmer behind this front before it decides to work back our way as a warm front. So we're going to stay warm regardless if we're on the back side of this front or we eventually go back to the warm side of the front as we head toward the middle of the week. For tonight, though, it'll be mostly cloudy, but we are dry going into Monday morning. Plan on overnight lows, not jumping off much more from where we are now. Let's say lows around 63 in the morning, but we're looking great as we go throughout the course of your Monday. Partly sunny by lunchtime, mostly sunny by the end of the afternoon. I think Joplin sits at 75 at lunchtime and will top out around 81 degrees. How warm you get depends on how fast the cloud cover clears on out. If you clear the clouds out soon enough, or sooner rather than later, for example, out in the Kansas and Oklahoma side, you'll see highs pushing probably into the mid-80s. For the Missouri side, northwest Arkansas, plan on lower to maybe middle 80s for Monday afternoon. So Monday, it's a good chance to dry out and enjoy a quiet start to the work week ahead of us. Tuesday, same story. A mild start in the morning. Even though the future track wants us mostly sunny on Tuesday, I think there will be some clouds around, but we stay dry Tuesday with highs in the mid-80s. Then as we go into Wednesday, that's when it starts to get a little active again. An upper level disturbance starts to sneak back in. We have that front starting to lift back in from the north, so that will gradually up the cloud cover and bring thunderstorm chances back in here as we go into Wednesday, and we hold on to those thunderstorm chances going into Memorial Day weekend. So 81 tomorrow, dry. 86 Tuesday, we hold in the middle to upper 80s going through the rest of the week from Wednesday on into Memorial Day weekend. So rain or shine, it will definitely stay warm. Have a good night. Have a great Monday.